why would any Middle Eastern group, Palestinian or otherwise, trust Netanyahu and the Israelis to comply with this? Why would Hamas, I know you think Hamas is not the most significant player here, but why would whoever is negotiating in behalf of the Gazans give up their leverage because of a promise from Netanyahu? He is not only the world's great monster, he's the world's great liar.
Well, the one that one can question about trust is the United States, because nobody trusts Netanyahu. Hamas or anybody else is not acting on the basis of trust of Netanyahu. You can be absolutely sure of that. The agreement that has been reached with the United States, Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and other countries. Now, the United States cheats all the time, and it could cheat again. But Hamas is basically, I think, not only exhausted because of mass slaughter, and the Palestinians actually want something to eat before the mass starvation carries them away, so they want the fighting to stop. But they're hoping for the fact that this isn't a matter of trust with Netanyahu. It's not a deal with Netanyahu, and it's not really a deal only with the United States. They're trusting that with the countries that I mentioned, Egypt and Turkey, and Qatar and Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and others as signing on to this, that at least the fighting will stop. That's what they're counting on. They are not disarming right now, so they're not giving it full trust in any way. There's no political agreement in any of this. This is a call to stop the bloodletting. One hint that may play some role here is the fact that early on, the Israelis decided that they would commit mass slaughter, and they would commit mass slaughter to terrorize the people of Gaza and perhaps make them flee so that they could continue their permanent rule. And the former head of the Israeli military intelligence actually said, and he was caught on tape, and it became quite notorious, or maybe not notorious because nothing's notorious in Israel, but it became discussed in Israel in recent months. He said at the beginning that for every Israeli that died, 50 Palestinians should be killed. And according to standard counts, between 1,200 and 1,300 Israelis died one way or another from the October 7th attack. And if you multiply the 50-to-1 ratio, you reach a targeted death toll by these mass murderers of something around 64,000 deaths. Well, they reached that number in the last few weeks. So maybe they calculate that their mass bloodletting has been accomplished, and now there's no more purpose to continue bloodletting. It could actually be this, because this 50-to-1 ratio was widely discussed, and there's a certain primitiveness in the Israeli mentality, I have to say. There's a certain degree to which Israel acts like a 10th century BC theocratic state. And we know from the Old Testament that that state committed repeated genocides. And I think a lot of Israeli leaders think in that primitive way. And so this may be an explanation also. The bloodletting went on, the 50-to-1 ratio was reached, and so why not stop? And we don't really know why, because the thousands and tens of thousands of deaths had no purpose either.
Right.
This ceasefire could have been reached 2 years ago.